hammer and discus. Maybe not as much in the javelin, but still with a contender here trying to make it through to the final.
And speaking of finals, here we go. Our first one. Jill of Ireland, the first athlete selected. Two Irishmen going in this. Final. Bergen, Mr. Haldvanes. Well, there's a huge French contingent here, mostly wearing pink. They're scattered all around the stadium. And the Arca. Lucas L. He's ready to go. Focused. So 24 in this field for the 10,000 metres. It's been a warm day, but the temperature is dropping. And it's our first final here at the 2025 European Under-23 Athletics Championships. We're straight in. Finals on the first evening session, and it's an evening session that has flown by. So 25 laps of the track. It's a long one. It's been a warm day. What impact will that have? You'll see in a moment that the athletes will make their way past the water station. There will be an opportunity for these athletes, if they want, if they feel they need it, to dart off to one side, take on some fluids. A very warm day indeed. Niccolo Conali of Italy. Personal best set this season. He's the one leading the way. Timothy Dupont of France, tucked in behind. Another athlete who's in personal best form this season, yet to go under 29 minutes for the 10K. Germany, tucked in around 7th or 8th. Not as tall as those around him. Now making a slight surge around the outside, just to ensure that he's there to cover any moves that may be made off the front. A long, long way to go. Now up into third. Firing leg number 1. Now up ahead of Timothy Dupont. Karsai, the Hungarian, now opting to push the pace as they go past 800 metres. And he's gone off the front, and he's gone off the front very early here, Alex.
Yeah, really interesting to see. Did wonder whether this would happen. Someone's got to take on this final. Don't want to see it left to the very last moment, as we have seen. It's the 3,000 metres. Jonathan Grant, who's in this race and will also do the 5,000 here, sprinted home for victory in an almighty scrap. Yes, the temperature has gone down to 24 degrees, so it's only gone down by a small amount. The humidity is still 67%, even though there is that still bit of a cool breeze. Two Frenchmen there who are looking round at one another. I think they expect their contingent to be strong here across a lot of the distance events. Obviously, we've just seen that 1-2, albeit in just a 1500-metre heat. The French, actually, I remember on the first night of 2019, it was a 1-2 for Jimmy Gressier and Hugo Hay on the first night. I really do feel that success is infectious. It spreads throughout the team. They see them coming back to the hotel, and maybe we're having dinner.
So look over the shoulder of the Hungarian Kalsai, the under-20 national record holder at the half marathon distance, and he has been reeled back in, but in turn it does mean that this is now almost a race where all the athletes are just one behind each other, long train, single file. Reeled in by Lucas Earl of Germany. Represented Germany at the last 2 European under-20 cross-country championships. And 4 now. 5. Just moving out to one side. The odd sit, but most of them just using the water to throw over their heads. Including Sampaio, who's competing in his first European Championships, first age group championships, has had an over a minute improvement on his personal best this year, and that's why he's included in one of the ones to watch. One of those highlighted ahead of the race. He's the one with the cap on, facing backwards. The only one in this field who's wearing a cap. Through the 2,000-metre mark. 5:52.1. 20 laps to go. And Lucas Earl in control.
And we've had through 2 kilometers here. Lucas Earl has taken over the lead at 5:52. What's the time on this podium, meaning that
the selection there, some opting to take the drench sponges, some the cups of water.
Karsai, who made that early move, just dripping back into the 3rd spot. They're quite single file at the moment, but you can see there's a lot of furrowed, sweaty brows, and athletes being made to work quite hard here, I think. You said there 2:55 and then 5:52, so pretty even to this point so far. 19 to go now, and yeah, Earl with the shade on, quite strong out front, and an athlete with decent cross-country pedigree. Fine.
Well, had that incredible performance in a year ago, and we hope he can get out to the similar kind of distances. We know he's capable, Max Denning, of creating something very, very special indeed. The youngest man ever to go over the 90-metre mark. Lucas Earl still leading the way. But he's working hard, isn't he? You sort of mentioned it earlier, Alex. He looks strong, but you can tell he's putting the work in. Right, on the time when they come to the 3-kilometre mark, they were on around 29:15 pace. And they went through the first 2 kilometres.
Yeah, Lucas Earl has not competed too much this year. He doubled up in the 5,000 and 10,000 metres at the European 10,000-metre Cup.
8:51 through 3 kilometres. So the time slipping just slightly. And another attack off the front from the Hungarian. Well, it's really interesting tactics, isn't it? This is the second time that he's put one of these spurts off the front.
Others might contend as well to have Finland, Germany and Czechia at the top of javelin standings. That really tells you a lot about the history of the event.
past 3,600 in the men's 10,000 metres. Konali, Kasai.
Take over the pacing job here, so it's Konali from Italy and
Now Lucas Earl just starting to drop back slightly. Moving his way around the outside, and he is bridging the gap. He's working hard too. He has his teammate Timothy Dupont alongside him.
Yeah, Konali, clearly an athlete in great form. He's got personal best over 800, 5,000, and this distance this year, and 1,500 metres as well. So those have all come since April. Really impressive there. It was in Cosenza in Italy, just at the end of April. Yeah, quite a few athletes opening up the season with that long distance. That was the Italian 10,000 metre championships, in fact. Setting that personal best, 29:22.06. And since then, time of 14:22.62 in the 5,000 at the end of last month in Zonyo.
11:47 through 4,000 metres. So the pace not changing too much from the last kilometre.
Yes, so 2:55, then 57:59, and then 55 once more, and signified by the lift once again from Kasai. Certainly putting in a lot of hard work out there. I mean, all the athletes are sweating. Look at Konali. It could just be the water, of course, as well, but now the French athletes just behind. They've been very happy just to sit there alongside one another. Look at Jonathan Grahn as well. Don't forget his incredible sprint finish that we saw at the European Under-20s, and he's in contention. I don't think he's got the 5,000 metres on his mind at this point, but he will do at some stage.
I was about to say, the man who we haven't really seen a huge amount of, and that's probably a good indication for him, is Jonathan Grahn, Under-20 champion, European Under-20 champs in 2023 in the 3,000 metres. We know he has an excellent turn of pace. Silver medalist at the National Under-20 Championships indoors in 1,500 metres. He's just veered off to one side to take on some water, but is quickly resuming his place ahead of Lucas Earl. Not moving too far away from the front. He's tucked in 5th at the moment. Still strung out, single file. Now the Frenchman moving just around the outside onto the shoulder of Konali. Has he done too much work, the Italian? Really, really interesting tactics from the Hungarian. 13 laps to go. This is second spell off the front now.
Yeah, but he had Konali for company. Konali drifting back into the pack. In that time, it's allowed the gap to grow a little bit. You can see they're now being bridged by Antonin Saint-Pierre.
Johnny Livingston as well, making the most of it. The Brit moving around the outside nicely. He's now up into 6th or 7th. He's even moved a little bit further up than that, now finds himself in 5th. So really taken his opportunity as it just splits again, and under pressure. He's been reeled back in, Carso. How long will that last? Well, no hanging around from the Frenchman.
So 14:45 at the halfway mark, so 29:30 then. Saint-Pierre takes over the lead, and that could be crucial at this stage, but there's still big opportunities for a lot of athletes in this race. Grahn now in 3rd place. Fascinating. This is his 10,000 metre track debut. I make it. He did run 10K on the road, 28:38 in Valencia in January. Still, you know, some time ago. And, yeah, stepping up in distance, of course, at the Under-20s that he won a couple of years ago. There is no 10,000 metres. It's just 3 and 5. Moving up in distance here. So, yeah, fascinating to see what he can do. Really want to keep an eye on, and remains in a very solid 3rd place at the moment. And, yeah, another that hasn't been really mentioned is Joel Ibler-Lilleshol. the Dane, and I'm sure one of their big medal hopes, another one who's had lots of opportunities at these types of championships from a young age, still a holder of a national under-20 best performance, 28.38, and yeah, 4 years ago he won the 5,000 metre title.
It's a different step up, isn't it, from the under-20 level to the under-23, but he does find himself in fourth, just tucked in behind Jonathan Glahn. And the shot. There's Miguel on though for company.
It's difficult really for Samper, because obviously he did a lot of hard work to bridge that gap. He doesn't want to go past. There's still 11 laps left of the race. But now it's going to be a lead group of 5. So was he not better just to hang off and wait for them to reel in the Hungarian?
Looking at his facial expressions, his demeanour, his body language when he first went past the Hungarian, I thought he was going to kick on. The way he looked so focused, so drilled, had a turn of pace to get around the outside of him, I thought surely he's going now. But as you can see, the lead resumed now by Gabor Karsai. And he's the one who has another turn of pace, and it's just such interesting tactics. He's really stretched the pack. The pair of them have, you've got to say it, but Karsai again, as they come into the home straight, 10 laps to go, a couple of looks over the shoulders from those behind, split the pack into now a leading group of 6, which Livingston is just about clinging on to the back of. You can see the damage that it's done to the field.
That's the hope for Karsai, though, that you now start to see this group at the top.
So 9 laps to go. The real countdown is on. 6 men off the front. Around 29.30 pace last time we looked, and that was an improvement of where they were sat a couple of kilometres before that. It's really ebbed and flowed this race, mostly because of these two men who have now changed once again the lead. Karsai and Samper.
Yeah, that was marginally the fastest one that we saw so far. 17.38 through 6,000, and maybe helped by the lift of pace that we saw from Samper, the Frenchman. So 2:53 for that last kilometre. I mean, not too much in it. Karsai now looking round and seeing just how big this group is.
But look at the change of the landscape. We've gone from 6th to a huge crowd, just like that. And you can tell something's happened. Someone, I wonder whether it's Samper, has just stepped off the pace. Both of them have. And it really has changed everything, because everyone just looked around for a second as they went past the water jump. Everyone looked around and went, why are we stopping? It dropped to a really pedestrian pace. And now everyone's wondering who will take it on again. So a new lead, a new Italian at the front. Stefano Ceccioli. More diminutive figure, just ahead of Jonathan Glahn, doing the double at these championships. Did it the last time he took a medal, of course, in 2023 at the European Under-20s. That was a 3,000, 5,000 double. He's coming second in the 5,000 metres. This more demanding on the body, and particularly with the temperature. But look who's back to the front as it all changes once again. And now Glahn has dropped back to 6th. As it all shuffles around, but the man at the front remains, Samper.
Now that desperation to stay a little bit more hydrated and keep cool. 20:41.73 they came through with Cecere ahead with 3K to go. 3:03 for that kilometre, so 4 seconds slower than the third and the fifth.
The Irishman, Lagel, up into third. Real renaissance of Irish athletics, and particularly the distance running as well.
So, of course, we've seen qualification earlier, and final now underway in the first round, and we'll bring you up to date on that in a moment. 5 laps to go.
Yep, well into the business end of this race, which has changed its shape and its form on so many occasions. We are now back to 6. It's a very different look 6 in the front, but Grant remains. Sampaio does as well. Gallant of Spain. So we haven't spoken about it a lot, but he has been there. He was 8th at these championships in 2023 over 5,000 metres. Competed at the 2022 World Under-20 Championships as well. Plenty of experience racing at this level. Does just bunch up slightly, it seems, when they go round that bottom bend. Also moving to the outside. Westerhub Hans is there as well, trying to bridge the gap, and I think he will. Sticking with him in his efforts to find his way onto the back of this group of 6 and make it 8. There's Holwood in tow as well, just in behind him. So the long-time leader moving off to one side, taking a sponge again, joined by his partner in crime for a lot of this race, Kiasai. And it's the Irishman. He just winces slightly there. You can see how much this is taking out of these men. On the face of the Irishman, who's now in the lead, takes a look over his shoulder. A group of 8 with the Norwegian and the Dutchman clinging on. 3 laps to go. 8 men, 3 medals. This the first final of the European Under-23 Championships in Bergen here in 2025, the first evening session. And such an intriguing race this has been. The men's 10,000 metres. Grant is still there. He's been in a really strong position, and if you just look at his body language in comparison to the others, particularly the 2 directly ahead of him, he certainly looks less laboured, more relaxed. That chest sat upright, arms relaxed, focused look onto the back of the Spaniard and the Frenchman ahead of him.
We've seen 2 back-to-back 253s here. Ladjel now setting this pace. Don't forget, no Irishman has ever won a European Under-23 gold. Ladjel now finds himself at the front. Personal best, really strong time, 28:29 he ran in California, the University of Oregon student.
He's been close to a medal before. 4th at the European Under-23 Championships in 2023. How he would love to make his way onto the podium. He leads this race. Is he dreaming of gold? It is still so tightly bunched, and just look at that. 3 deep in places. And Grant trying to make his way up the inside. There is space there. Jill now into 2nd. So with Denmark making his way around the outside. European Under-20 champion back in 2021 over 5,000 metres. He has the turn of pace. The Norwegian is still there. Can he dig deep for an inspired performance on home soil? The Hungarian rallying, Kiasai. Well, you can see he's working hard, but so are the men ahead of him. He jumped out to one side, thinking he'd be able to take this on. but Gran hits the front and turns up the pace with 400 meters to go, eyeing up the double. A real battle, 300 meters to go. Jonathan Gran of Sweden in the yellow and blue, but he's flanked by the Dane, and now here comes the Spaniard, Magalon. 200 meters to go. The pace goes up again. Gran focused, a real battle behind. The Norwegian not out of this yet, but he can't keep the pace. Lillishow coming around the outside. It's going to be a battle all the way to the line, but the Swede just has it for now. Neck and neck all the way to the line. It's going to be so close. And the Dane gets there. A thrilling final lap. And a perfectly timed race from that man. Joel Ibler Lillishow of Denmark. Points to his chest. Does he know? He doesn't know, and now he does. A new personal best, pushing Jonathan Gran all the way to the line. A superb finish in this first final of the European Under-23 Championships in Bergen. And it's Denmark who take the first gold medal. And look how much it means. Handed the flag. He really didn't know. Left it all out there. As did Jonathan Gran. Well, he will come back again.
Well, he's the first Danish man to win a European Under-23 gold medal. He's just their 5th champion ever. Absolutely extraordinary. And Jonathan Gran must be tough to take. Of course, he does have the 5,000 meters to come, but they were both trying to get their second age group gold medal. The Swedes, you can see the disappointment there. After all of that racing, 25 laps and nearly half an hour, separated by just 0.04. Let's have another look again. As you say, Gran had it, but for now, only for now, Lillishow, we'd waited so long for this race to unfold. It was 6, it was 1, it was 2, it was 8. Almighty scrap here. Lillishow, who's getting ready to dip on that line, and Gran was sticking his arm out, but it wasn't enough. Karsai and Samper, well, you have to credit to them for being such a big part of the story of this race, and Karsai in particular, he wouldn't have done that. He wouldn't have continued to surge if he didn't feel really confident about his ability. But yeah, here's just a sign of the almighty scrap. Would like to see that moment on the top bend when they realize just how many are around them. But Gran, yes, unleashing this finish, eyes only on the prize at this point. 3,000 meter champion 2 years ago. On 10,000 meter debut, it would have been an extraordinary story. It still is to get that silver medal. But Joel Ibler Lillishow was coming past here, leaning across the line.
Oh, it's a great picture, isn't it? Both with their arms raised, gritted teeth, all the way to the line, neck and neck. Well, you say, Alex, we went from 6 to 8 to 4, and then 2. And that's how close it was. And he didn't know. And what a special moment this was to witness. Making history for his nation. The second age group gold medal. And Jamie Magalon of Spain taking third to find his way onto the podium. Antonin Sampaio, well, he worked really hard, didn't he? Wanted to cover the moves made by Gábor Karsai of Hungary. In the end, it cost him.